This is my last fight on ESPN.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. This is why this fight means everything to me. If they want the black fighters, they could keep them. I brought Bud Light to Top Rank. If they want the black fighters, they could keep them.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Teofimo Lopez has officially came out of the closet. As you guys heard, Teo said, "This is my last fight with ESPN. If they want all of the black fighters, they could keep them," suggesting that he's leaving because of his hatred, jealousy, and envy of the black fighters' success. This sounds like a conversation, like something Teo says to his friends all of the times behind closed doors where they laugh about it. That's why he thinks it's okay to say something racial like that. Because when it comes to majority of the sports, from basketball, football, and boxing, so on and so forth, the black athletes always dominates. They are the best in all of these sports. Boxing is just like basketball. The best athletes are by far second to none, the black athletes. When you look at basketball, the Michael Jordans, the LeBron, the Kobe. In boxing, those are the Floyd Mayweathers, the Sugar Ray Leonard, the Sugar Ray Robinson, the Roy Jones, the Muhammad Ali, the Joe Louis, the Sweet Pea Whitaker, so on and so forth. Pretty much 95 to 99% of the all-time greats are actually black fighters. But we don't even have to go back that far. In our own generation, the best fighters are the black fighters. The Crawfords, the Errol Spence, the Devin Haneys, the Shakur, the Javante, the Jaron Ennis. These are the MJs, the Kobes, and the LeBrons of our own generation. Nobody beats Crawford, Errol Spence, Jaron Ennis, Devin Haney, Shakur, Javante. These type of athletes, nobody beats them but themselves. The black athletes are the only ones that are able to beat the black athletes. Contrary to that, every athlete that's not black, 99% of them, they lost to a black fighter. Better yet, they lost their undefeated record to a black fighter. All of the Hispanic greats, Chavez Sr., Marquez, Barrera, Duran, so on and so forth, they all lost their undefeated record to a black fighter. People always talk about Duran being one of the Fabulous Four and being an all-time great. But really, when you look at history, he lost to all of the Fabulous Four. He lost to Leonard twice. He lost to Hagler. He got knocked out by Hearns. He even lost to Benitez. Duran is pretty much famously known for losing to black fighters in the worst way possible. The only victory he ever had was a close fight with Sugar Ray Leonard that could have went either way, where Sugar Ray Leonard fought dumb. But then when Leonard came back, he made Duran quit, then beat him in a trilogy. Can you imagine if Floyd lost to everybody like Duran did? Old media will be calling Floyd a bum. Nobody praises Zab Judah like they praise Duran, and he fought everybody, just like Duran. We all know they will never praise Zab Judah, but they got nothing but great things to say about Duran, even though he lost to everybody. However, you can't say the same about Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, Crawford, Errol Spence, Roy Jones in his prime, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, so on and so forth. All of these black athletes are the all-time greats. The other fighters are only second tier. That's why when Teofimo Lopez made that comment, that only shows his jealousy, envy, and hatred for how gifted the black athletes are. The irony of it all is that Teo actually is getting better treatment on Top Rank and ESPN. Top Rank allowed Teofimo Lopez to duck without exposing him. They even gave him all of the big fights he was asking for, such as the Josh Taylor fight, so on and so forth, after he got whooped from pillow to post. Teofimo Lopez even crossed the line with Bob Arum after he beat Lomachenko. Remember, Teo was still on contract with them. However, he crossed them, claiming he's leaving them. He's going to terminate the contract, so on and so forth. That's when he ended up fighting Kambosos on Thriller. However, the fight fell apart because Teo couldn't sell. So he ended up fighting Kambosos on DAZN. After he got whooped, he claimed DAZN set him up. They robbed him. and he should have never left ESPN. Talk about the hypocrisy of it all. But it gets better. When Teofimo Lopez went back to Top Rank and ESPN, they offered him the Barboza fight, the Ramirez fight, even the Rigas fight was there. However, he turned all of that down to fight somebody that I don't even recall his name. The main point here is the fight flopped. Teo couldn't sell. Teo couldn't even sell against Kambosos. He couldn't even sell 5,000 tickets in his own hometown. That's why Teo had to fight in the theater instead of the arena. Then when Teo had his comeback fight, the sales was even worse. So Top Rank tried again to have Teo step up in competition. However, he refused. He ended up cherry-picking Pedraza coming off a loss and a draw. But that fight ended up falling apart because Pedraza pulled out. So Teo was stuck having to fight somebody he didn't even want to fight, which was Martin, where Martin ended up beating Teofimo Lopez. However, he got robbed. He knocked down Teofimo Lopez twice and completely embarrassed him and outboxed him. He had Teo saying after the fight, "Do I still got it?" Remember that? Now, this fight was also another flop for Teofimo Lopez for some odd reason. Teo, he just can't sell. Perhaps that has something to do with Teo ducking and lying all of the times. Now, the reason I'm giving you guys a brief history of Teofimo Lopez is that I just want to point out the fact that Bob Arum, he never trashed Teofimo Lopez for his low ticket sales, so on and so forth, like he did to Terrence Crawford when he said Crawford couldn't sell. When Crawford, he sells 5 to 10 times more than Teo does. But Bob Arum says Crawford couldn't sell. However, Bob Arum never said that about Teofimo Lopez, even though Teo crossed Bob Arum and left Bob Arum while he was still on the contract, something that Crawford never did. Crawford, he honored his contract. Crawford was always loyal. He never talked trash about Top Rank or Bob Arum when he was still with them. However, on the other hand, Teofimo Lopez, he's trashing Top Rank all across the board. You know, the funny part is you will expect Bob Arum to be trashing Teo worse than Crawford because it's a fact that Teo can't sell. While Crawford, on the other hand, he actually sells. Whenever Crawford went to his hometown, he sold out the arena. Whenever Teo went to his hometown, he couldn't even sell out the theater. When Crawford fought Porter in Vegas, they nearly sold out the arena. On the other hand, when Teo fought Kambosos in New York, they couldn't even sell out the theater, which is less than 5,000 tickets. Remember, that's Teo's hometown. Whenever Crawford fights in his hometown, man, he sells over 15,000 tickets in his sleep. Nobody knows the guy Crawford fought last, and Crawford sold out the arena for that fight. So despite the fact that Crawford has always outdone Teofimo Lopez when it comes to everything, his performance, his excitement, his KOs, his ticket sales, his viewership, the money he generates, so on and so forth, Bob Arum, he trashed the loyal Crawford, claiming he couldn't sell. But he never trashed the unloyal Teofimo Lopez, who actually can't sell. This is one of many double standards. Therefore, if anything, Teofimo Lopez has been getting VIP treatment on Top Rank and ESPN. I mean, let's not forget, ESPN called this man undisputed when he was not. And that's a fact. So they were willing to lie and claim that Teo was undisputed, which Teo undisputed title was as real as Lomachenko undefeated record on ESPN. It was a complete lie. They did all of that because Teo has the complexion for the connection to get the ultimate protection. They were trying their best to protect him from Devin Haney. Even then, Teo is still over here complaining. Talk about being privileged. Talk about being delusional. Remember the time when Teo was ducking Devin Haney? He was telling Devin Haney, go talk to Bob. What happened to the meeting with Bob? Now that Devin Haney is on ESPN, now that Devin Haney is the real undisputed champion that whooped the man that whooped him, that nearly killed him, now Tio, he want to run off. He want to run away from ESPN. Wait a minute. I thought you told Devin Haney to go holler at Bob. Then when Devin Haney did exactly that, Teofimo Lopez does not want to pick up the phone. I mean, literally. Bill Haney is calling Tio dad, trying to make the fight happen, and they never picked up the phone. This is after the fact that Devin Haney has the leverage. Devin Haney is the undisputed champion, while Tio has nothing except of his delusion. I'm starting to think Devin Haney is the real reason why Teofimo Lopez is taking off away from ESPN. But back to the main point. When Tio said, if they want the black fighters, they could keep them. Talking about ESPN and Top Rank. Like, wait a minute. That's some racial stuff to say. That's something only a racist will say. Now, we know Tio is a duck. We know Tio is a liar. But we didn't know he was a racist. However, today he chose to come out of the closet. I guess his hatred, his jealousy and envy for the fighters on the coincidental list is just too real. But what I can't comprehend is why you mad? Teofimo Lopez got whooped, not once, but twice. Is he mad because he's not good enough to get the attention that the black fighters are getting because they keep on winning? Key word, they keep on winning. Winning is the key word, not losing. The way Teofimo Lopez is famously known for, losing. I guess Teofimo Lopez is so racial that he hates, envies, and so jealous of how talented and gifted the black fighters are. The way they keep on winning and finding a way to win. The likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, so on and so forth. Something Teofimo Lopez doesn't have the remedy for. Therefore, by default, Tio has so much hatred, envy, and jealousy for their success, even though they got it out of the mud more than he did. You know, the irony of it all, I remember when Tio was undefeated, he said, I can imagine myself losing to Devin Haney. Man, I hate him so much. I just can't live with myself if I lose to Devin Haney. When Tio made that statement, you could tell it was more than just a beef or something personal. A few years later, Teofimo Lopez ends up exposing himself, coming out of the closet when he made this statement. That's why Tio ducked Devin Haney, and he will continue ducking Devin Haney because he knows Devin Haney is going to smash him and give him the beating of his life, which is something Tio can't live with. He can't live with himself getting beat like that by a black fighter. Maybe this also has something to do with Teofimo Lopez always getting beat up in sparring by Gervonta, Keyshawn Davis, and Devin Haney. He probably even sparred Shakur too. And if he did, most likely he got whooped there too. This is another reason why Teofimo Lopez always ducks the best black American fighters, such as Devin Haney. Furthermore, if Tio hates black fighters that much, where would he go? We already know he burned bridges with DAZN, claiming they robbed him. He also talked trash about PBC and Showtime when they didn't recognize him as undisputed because he was faking undisputed. Better yet, PBC is a black-owned company. So that's like going from better to worse because PBC has majority of the black fighters. See what Tio said, there is no place for that in the sport of boxing and in general. Last but not least, Top Rank has athletes from all walks of life. So we shall see which athletes are gonna lose first. They all have the same opportunities. We shall see who's gonna step up first and who is gonna prevail. I could guarantee you that Shushu and Keyshawn Davis are gonna make it farther than Xandar and Vargas. Only time will tell. We shall see. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. subscribe below, and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Peace. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.